So we're coming very, very near to the end of our Australian tour, and we would be remiss to not come to the epicenter of cannabis in Australia, which is Nimbin. And the mayor of Nimbin is no other than Andrew Kavasilas.
Hey guys, good to be here. Welcome you guys, yeah. So yeah, this is Nimbin, the old hardware real estate. This is Gunja Army. These guys are, all hemp clothing and stuff.
You are one of the most knowledgeable guys about the history of cannabis, where it's from, where it was, where it is today, and where it's going.
This area here, this used to be the Rainbow Cafe, which was the first cafe. Hey, how you going, mate? Good. My grandson. Hey.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Small town.
This was the Rainbow Cafe, yeah. This Rainbow Cafe over there, and the Hemp Nimbin Museum used to be here, and they burnt down, unfortunately. And it may be like an affliction, like I'm a savant. There's some things I pick up, and I pick up the little pieces of snippets of a story, and you put it together. But I looked into why it was illegal and how and who's profiting from it, and who's continuing to make money from it, and why doesn't it make sense? So I had to answer my own questions before I could, get right into it. It shouldn't be just a phrase of legalised cannabis or why don't they, or how come. There's reasons for all that, and it is a long story.
And we've come a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very, very cool little town.
Yeah, we
This
love it.
Screams hippie town.
Yeah, it prides itself, yeah.
Yeah, as it should.
Yeah. Look, we're fighting for legalisation, and people say, well, won't Nimbin die? And we're like, no, we'll always be Nimbin. Like, it'll probably, more people will come. Who knows? It feels safer to come.
Well, once the stigma gets broken down,
Yeah.
it's going to be more and more and more of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And what is so special about Nimbin? Why is it such a cannabis influenced community?
Well, we call it alternate, so it's an alternate community, and I suppose the authorities it's not so much they turned a blind eye to it, but they actually helped and fostered.
It's really exciting to see what's going on with how the plant evolves, how people come together with it, and how communities survive off of it, and seeing Nimbin being one of those communities is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Nimbin, like I said before, it has been the backbone of the economy in the town, and into the future it'll be just done differently. There's no doubt about it. It started in 1973 when the Australian Union of Students had a festival here, the Aquarius Festival, and the people stayed, and it was all about, it was the dawning of the age of Aquarius. It was all of smart people who thought about the future and how the world would look. And treading lightly on the earth. And so, yes, this was a dying town. This Nimbin was, all the shops were boarded up and people were living in them. This building that we're in now is an old butter factory that was basically disused. And the farms were all disused, and so it's kind of lucky that the hippies did come here. They resurrected the town, and I suppose, and the authorities, where these big farms had one homestead, they created new zonings, multiple occupancy and company title, and so you could have multiple houses, multiple occupancies on one land, and still people live quite alone. In their own family, their own house. The school bus still comes to the front down on the road, and so the kids still get down and get picked up and go to school. And it was just a lot of experimenting in alternate living and alternate energy, recycling, a lot of things that have taken off.
Going back to the earth.
Yeah, this is the Nimbin Hall. So this is, like I said, owned by the community.
Yeah, and this is where the Mardi Gras is held?
Oh, that's just one of the venues, but we have a hall. We have, for events. Nimbin, the art gallery, as you can imagine, a lot of artists here. We love that the people from Woodstock come here and say that we're more Woodstock than Woodstock.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And here we come to the Hemp Embassy now. This is where we're going to get our posters. This is the base, the headquarters of the Hemp Party, the legalised cannabis party.
This is it. Yeah. This is where cannabis...
And the Hemp Embassy, yeah.
So we're in the heart of Nimbin.
This is it now, yeah. Did you miss the big joint up there?
I did miss it.
Cannabis has been, I suppose, the economic backbone of the town, absolutely. But we have other drugs as well. But cannabis is the one that's accepted, and the whole town's in on it. And so absolutely it has been the backbone of the town, where there's a supply and demand, and Australians and visiting tourists, come to Nimbin. Nimbin's like mecca for Australian cannabis users that have to come here once in their lifetime and walk that 300 metres.
Where do you see cannabis going in the next couple of years?
The Victorian Premier just yesterday said, nah, we're not giving you any of your changes. And she goes to election next year, so nothing will happen. So that's Victoria off the map. New South Wales, we're waiting for him to decide our fate on driving, which is pathetic.
I've heard the driving
just
rules
the
are
presence
ridiculous.
of
Absolutely.
cannabis.
Currently, there's a loophole in the law where they can take advantage of people, even if you consumed cannabis a few days ago. Here's a saliva test, now you're screwed.
It's got to be about whether you're impaired.
Absolutely. And
Even old, fucking old people or angry people or...
don't drive impaired, period, using anything. That's
agree.
common sense. It should be. Come here, go away, mixed messages, confusing, a lot of murky, muddy water right now. Hey, but at least we have a medical program. That's something to
The
celebrate.
medical program is good. I mean, we've got to put up with it, see the good side.
Sure.
It's introducing lots of new people
It's
to
a
weed.
start.
Lots of new people discovering weed. It's legal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not frightened anymore.
It's safe to say once the U.S. Gets rid of their drug laws and treaties, which is happening slowly, that Band-Aid's unfortunately not being ripped off fast enough. But as that unfolds, everything globally will unfold.
Yeah, well, Trump is holding fucking the rope, isn't he? And he's never been stoned, has he?
I mean, someone that
Never had a trip.
someone that should do mushrooms.
That would change the world.
Absolutely. Michael,
Yeah.
I really appreciate your insight
Yeah, good on you.
and much
Cheers.
blessings to you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What else has happened with the alternate community that is here? They've bought a lot of the buildings in town, so the town hall, the showground, this building here, other buildings in town and other houses close to the town, have all been bought by the community and run by little committees, and again, just quite unusual when you haven't got to rely on your council or state government.
It's communal living.
It's communal living, but it's living in a communal way where everyone, it's not so much, I mean, we still have there's people who don't talk to each other and fighting,
Sure.
but the communals, everyone understands that in the long run, we all get on, and you have to get on.
Yeah. So Andrew,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's it. That's Nimbin.
That's
300 metres of Nimbin.
Yeah, that's a super fast walk around
Yep.
with a whole bunch of like-minded people in a really cool turned-on community.
Yeah. And we love it. The colours, the markets will be starting up soon, and there'll be music going well into the evening. Yeah.
Amazing.
And
Thank
so I'm really just glad you guys, Growing Exposed, came here and had a look at, what it's like. This is where, the stronghold, the headquarters of the Australian cannabis law reform movement, the cannabis culture.
Yeah.
The
This is it, the epicenter.
Yeah. And it spreads out. And, people come and experience this, and they take a little bit with them in their heart when they go back home, and it's good. For Australians to see this, we see it, they're proud. They're proud that there is one place in Australia, in the world, where the whole town is tolerant of cannabis. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if this is any example that you can take out to the rest of the world, people on cannabis and this industry thrives on happiness, peace, finding music and artists. This place is loaded with things that matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Things that matter to people, and to be able to live your life and structure it around being able to live in a place like this. Look, we totally appreciate, and we talk about the millions and millions of people who work in factories, so we don't have to.
Yeah.
And our work in cannabis law reform is to help those people so on a Friday that they can knock off work, go get a couple of grams of pot and go home to their family and not have to spend half their wages and run around and get off at other drugs. The cannabis law reform movement, it's a good stronghold that it has here in Nimbin, and it does get out, and that's who we're fighting for all those people.
Well, that's going to spread.
Yeah.
And we know we're on the right side of this.
And this you're doing a lot, and I've seen your other podcasts, and it's really good, so thank you, dude. Yeah.
Andrew, thanks so much for making your time to show us your town.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Cheers.
See you all.